You want me to put that on my Todger?
Harry's wife. Todger Tales. Merch the cream. You've had the misfortune of learning, as a consequence of the disclosures in Spare, that Harry had a frostbitten Todger. There are some people who think that didn't happen. There are others who are convinced that he did because he basically got pissed up to the point of being blackout drunk, fell over in the snow, and therefore this happened when he was taking a leak, and therefore he exposed little Harry to the elements and got some form of frostnip or frostbite. Thereafter, of course, he regaled us with the tale of rubbing the Elizabeth Arden cream into his knob, and it, of course, reminded him of his mother. So we've been treated to the rather unedifying image of Harry and his ginger thatch downstairs being parted to find his little pink peanut in order to smear on some cream as he reminisces about mother. Delightful. However, news comes my way, and it's as a consequence of some super sleuthing that has taken place. The notification of this appears on the St. Harry's Wife Reddit thread, so credit given there, and a post by Build the Herd, who reports, a super sleuth on Twitter, who asks to remain anonymous, has figured out that Harry has merching Elizabeth Arden cream. Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream sponsored both 2011 and 2013 walks with wounded. Therefore, the frozen Todger story was fabricated. And what springs up from Twitter is a post from Elizabeth Arden of August the 24th, 2011, which reads, back in April, 8-Hour Cream supported Walking with the Wounded. This inspiring project involved a team of injured servicemen journeying to the geographic North Pole. Watch Harry's Arctic Heroes this evening for behind-the-scenes footage that follows Prince Harry and the team, showing on BBC One at 9 p.m. And then, on December the 14th, 2013, reports #news alert. This is again posted by Elizabeth Arden's Twitter account. Prince Harry and the team from Walking with the Wounded have successfully completed their expedition mission to reach the South Pole. Show your support for the cause this weekend with our famous 8-Hour Cream. We will be giving £1 from every product sold until December the 15th. And then there's a picture of the infamous Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream by appointment to Royal Todgers. Accordingly, a clear link has been established between Elizabeth Arden and the cream and Harry. And therefore, this calls into question, did he really rub the cream into his Todger? It does seem rather extraordinary that one would do that, and particularly because it's such a ridiculous thing to say. And therefore, many people seem to think that actually it's a fabricated story made up quite simply to promote the cream. Namely, that he's merching the cream because of its support back in 2011 and 2013 and making reference to it now in Spare to suggest that he was involved in rubbing it into his knob and he thought about his mother. It shows what an utter dunderhead this man is and how easily led he is, because, first of all, if you're going to merch it, why not suggest that you got it on the tip of your nose or the tip of your ears and you used it there? Not only would that seem more likely because your ears and nose are more likely to be exposed to the elements, it's also not going to subject you to ridicule and certainly not going to have you appear in a South Park episode rubbing your penis against Kyle's window. The fact is, he deems that it's appropriate, showing what a pea-brain he is, to talk about rubbing it into his Todger. And therefore, not only is it likely that this was an invented tale to be inserted into Spare for the purposes of merching, After all, the Sussexes repeatedly are on the lookout, on the shill, to get those Benjamins in, something which, of course, as you know, for Harry's wife is a considerable residual benefit. But also, it makes him look completely stupid, because he's talked about the fact of rubbing it into his bell end whilst thinking about and then being reminded by his mother by the smell. If he thought, and is quite possibly the case, that this would be a jolly jape of an anecdote which will have everybody rolling in the aisles, and they'll all say, "Oh, good old Harry, what a trooper, huh? Gets frostbite on his dick, but then rubs some cream in, what a trooper. That's the British way." Maybe that's what he thought would happen. But of course it's spectacularly backfired because, one, it's made him a subject of ridicule, and two, it would appear that the story might well be fabricated as a consequence of this sleuthing that has gone on. It's simply quite likely to be the case, given the form of the Sussexes, that, guided by Harry's wife, he would be told, put something in to merch for them. Who knows? Perhaps Elizabeth Arden, a deal had been cut to say, if we make mention of your cream, bung us some monies, bung us a box of the cream. Who knows? It's likely that Harry's wife would be angling for that, because remember, everything that she does when it comes to another person must relate to the prime aims, and we know that she very much enjoys her freebies. Accordingly, it might be the case that a deal had been cut to make mention of the Elizabeth Arden cream in the book as a consequence of some kind of inducement. Or maybe Harry just wants to issue a further thanks to them because of their support of the expedition and gives them a further mention. But I'd be inclined to think, given the grasping nature of Harry's wife, that she would be more likely to angle for this product placement for the purposes of ensuring that they gain some kind of advantage by doing it. It's, of course, causes one to think, how many other product placements have there been in Spare? Are there particular brands of alcohol that he's mentioned? Of course, he talks about his Xbox, even though Xboxes didn't exist at that point. Is that another incident of product placement where the incorrect console is mentioned purely because there is some opportunity for merching to be done? Has he gone down the James Bond route, as used to be the case, which was well known in the earlier films for its blatant product placement, which was, of course, done tongue-in-cheek? But here, product placement by the Sussexes is done because of their grasping nature and need for money. Is there double merching going on, making the money from the book itself and then being paid to make mention of certain products? I'm sure some enterprising soul at some juncture will go back through Spare and look for incidences of various products being placed and mentioned. But it's unsurprising that as a consequence of this sleuthing, such a connection has been made, because it's commensurate with the way that Harry's wife has to ensure that Harry is also a joint party to her grasping nature of getting hold of the residual benefits. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.